Hello everyone, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Daredevil Born Again episode 8. So in this episode there's a lot of spoilers, so let's bear with me on all of this. So in this episode we have Matt Murdock really fighting with the terms of being Daredevil again. The idea is everyone's kind of going against him in the sense of anybody who knows that he's Daredevil, which isn't many people right now. I think there's only one person that's being shown right now that knows who he is. And he's basically stating to Matt, like, you need to make your decisions. Like, you can't be both. You have to pick one or the other. And it's not going well. He's got into a fight with his girlfriend over the fact that Daredevil wasn't the one that actually saved her. She saved herself. And, Matt trying to hold his tongue because he knows what happened because he was there. But anyway, so the whole idea of that going on as well. We then have the royal. Well, it's not a royal ball, but it's like a fundraiser ball that the mayor is hosting, and he sends an invite to the psychiatrist, who also who has a guest. A plus one to it. Matt and her get into a fight because he doesn't think it's a great idea for her to be working with I'm sorry, working with Fisk at all because he feels like Fisk is only doing this to get close to him, and she doesn't understand why that would even be a thing. He's just a lawyer. It's not that big of a deal. They have an argument. He leaves angry. She's like, well, you can go because I have a plus one. He's like, fine. So he leaves. He finds out from his partner that apparently um, Bullseye is actually being transferred to Genpop. So we see a huge moment where we see Bullseye go from his regular cell to Gen Pop, and Bullseye's not happy about that whatsoever. He then asks for Matt Murdock to speak to him, and Matt's very much against it to begin with until he finds out um, something was a little weird. So, the reason why I say that is because um, when they were talking and everything else, he's trying to figure out exactly what was the reason for Foggy being killed because he's assuming it's Fisk for obvious reasons. So he goes to talk to Poindexter, aka Bullseye. He doesn't really get much out of him, to be honest with you. Like you would be expecting a lot more out of him. However, he wants full immunity, and he'll tell Matt everything. And Matt's laughing basically because he's like, I'm not going to give you full immunity after you've killed my best friend. He goes, and you're going to tell me what Fisk made you do. And he's like, I'll tell you everything if I get full immunity. And there's a lot of arguments in between. There's a lot of just irritation between the two of them. And finally, Matt just snaps and slams his head against the table really, really hard, multiple times. And then yells for the guards and stated that Bullseye was trying to basically kill himself in front of him. So they pull him out and bring him to the med med wing. I forget what they call it now. But anyway, he goes there, and Matt Murdock leaves. He then goes to drink at Josie's. He then realizes that there's no way, because of the time frame and everything else, there's no way, and the fact that Foggy knew he was going to win, that there was no way that Fisk would have been able to do it. And because of that, it had to have been Vanessa. So he then goes to run over to the ball. While that's going on, we have what I consider to be the creepiest scene of all times, and it is Poindexter using his tooth as a weapon and knocking out the guard and the doctor, killing them both, taking the outfit of the guard, and walking out of prison like it's nothing. He then leaves the prison and goes over to the ball. While we're at the ball, the psychiatrist is looking for Matt, who isn't around. And Fisk is walking around and talking to all of the bigwigs there and basically forcing them to kind of join his cause. The man who is the sword master very much goes into noticing that people are acting really strange, and there's all of a sudden like fully with Fisk out of nowhere, and he's not liking it too much. So he then has a conversation with Fisk, and Fisk basically explains to him, I know your other secret that you're the swordsman. He goes, well, if I was, that'd be a great introduction between the two of us, wouldn't it? And he's like, well, because of my anti-vigilante task force, they would be most likely having to see you if that be the case. And the swordsman's like, are you threatening me? And Fisk is like, well, no, it's just a promise that will be made in this sense. And the swordsman starts smiling and it's like, well, I can't wait to see that happen. And gets up and leaves. We then have a member of the wait staff pretending, well, there was a member of the wait staff who was not actually the wait staff and is part of the press. The um, anti anti-vigilante task force stops him, beats the guy up a little bit, like shoving him around and everything else. And then he burns the guy's hand in hot oil. And the police commissioner comes in to try to stop it. And he's like, "Man, you're not in charge of us. We're Fisk's guys. You're nobody." So he goes and leaves, and he talks to the reporter BB, and he's like, your sorry, the person that was the biggest interest in your uncle's murder was Wilson Fisk. And she goes, "I'm aware. That's why I'm here." She goes, I've also told the news in a few other names other than my own. So if you tell me the truth, I can at least get some information out there as somebody else." So we see that she's got some big homies and is very much like her uncle, although I would argue slightly better, because she's able to manipulate that kind of dichotomy, where she gets to be kind of both sides of the thing, which I find to be very interesting. She gets to be on Fisk's side, but also against him as well, in a weird way, but in a interesting way as well. Um, so then Matt and joins the group. He starts dancing with his girlfriend. Wilson and Vanessa dance together. While this is going on, we have Poindexter working his way towards the top of the dance floor, the rafters, I should say, and is going to kill one of them. So, excuse me. They then start dancing. He then splits off, so he bumps in. He takes his girlfriend to Fisk, and he goes and dances with Vanessa. And the two of them begin to dance, which is a hilarious scene, mostly due to the fact where he's like, why did you have Foggy killed? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's like, does your husband know that what you did? And she's like, does your girlfriend know you're Daredevil? Which is by far the best comeback of all time. So anyway, while that's going on, we hear, Matt hears Poindexter pointing the gun at Wilson Fisk and shoots him. When that happens, Matt Murdock jumps in front of the bullet, getting hit in the shoulder, and it ends with Matt bleeding and Wilson and Vanessa kind of just in shock. And then we have Poindexter kind of going away. Uh, and that's how the episode ends. So the next episode is supposed to be this. Obviously, it's going to be the season finale. There's got to be a big fight, but with Matt shot in the arm or the shoulder, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens to that because he's going to be injured and he won't be able to do a huge fight. Also, I'm assuming that we're going to be seeing Punisher again, possibly even the Swordsmaster in full costume, maybe, and then also seeing the anti-vigilante task force going full on commandos. Is my guess, and then also I believe we're probably going to see potentially the new White Tiger. Potentially. But we'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, there's going to be Beastly Eels signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.